Yo, what is up YouTube? Lee the Captain here, and I believe that Casper during the next bull run could hypothetically at least go to the price of $5, and during the process, make all of those Casper critics come running over to their girlfriends, boyfriends, grandmas, side piece, and start begging for that used baguette, or should I say bratwurst extender, Taylor Swift and Selena Gomez edition. And now, of course, this is neither bratwurst extender / financial advice, but in today's video, I want to explain several reasons why I believe Casper could hypothetically at least go to the price of $5 during the next bull run. And a major reason why I think that could happen is because I think that Casper is just a lot better than the competition. And why do I say this? Because Casper has been able to successfully solve the blockchain trilemma. And in case anyone is wondering, what is the blockchain trilemma? The blockchain trilemma is having decentralization, security, and scalability all at the same time. You know, many blockchains out there, they can't achieve this, but Casper can. That's how amazing Casper is. Furthermore, Casper is enterprise optimized. And I think this is a genius move because when you think about it, there are many statistics out there that show how the enterprise market is where a lot of the potential is at. Because if we take a look at this, currently, 94% of Fortune 500 executives have already begun planning blockchain initiatives. In addition, 75% of global executives fear a loss of a competitive advantage if they do not adopt blockchain technology. You know, clearly, a lot of institutions out there are looking to get into blockchain technology. And here's the thing, by 2030, the global blockchain technology market is expected to be worth over $1.4 trillion. However, the majority of this growth right here is anticipated to be driven through enterprise adoption. So I think that, if anything, truly visualizes how enterprises, they are the real deal. You know, they can facilitate growth at such an insane level. You know, they have the capital, they have the volume, and they have the resources to facilitate growth, again, at such an insane level. And I think that Casper perfectly understands this. I think that Casper understands where a lot of the potential is at. And here's the thing. When people say, wow, Casper going to the price of $5, that's so unrealistic. You got to think about this, right? Casper, considering its current circulating supply, if it were to reach the price of $5, its market cap would be around $58 billion. And now when I say around $58 billion, some people, they may be saying, whoa, that's insane. That's crazy. $58 billion. That's too much. But here's the thing. In the world of cryptos, it's not actually as much as what some people may think, because back in 2021, Dogecoin actually reached a market cap of over $80 billion. And you got to think about that, right? Dogecoin, it's a meme coin. Especially back in 2021, it basically had zero utility. Of course, now when it comes to Dogecoin, there's Dogechain, which a lot of people are a fan of. But again, when it comes to Dogechain, it's not even directly affiliated with Dogecoin. But yeah, besides that point, I understand how some people may say, wow, this is an apples to oranges comparison. You can't compare a meme coin like Dogecoin to Casper. But here's the thing. The reason why I use this as an example is because I want to show how in the world of cryptos, reaching over $58 billion in terms of market cap is not unheard of. You know, it's not uncharted territory. It's not like it's never been reached before. Even a meme coin far exceeded this in the past by over $20 billion. So again, around $58 billion in terms of market cap, it's not that much in the grand scheme of things, in my opinion. And while I do believe that Casper could hypothetically at least reach this during the next bull run, I think that in the long term, you know, we're talking about years down the line, I think that this target can far be exceeded. And why do I say this? Because, again, Casper, they're focused on enterprises. And once many large-scale enterprises start adopting Casper, there is really no telling how high Casper can go. You got to think about this, right? Dogecoin, largely driven through retail market, over $80 billion in market cap. So you got to think about what Casper could reach once it gains mass institutional adoption. I mean, man, really the sky's the limit at that point. I think that even $80 billion in terms of market cap could look so minuscule in the grand scheme of things, especially again, right? Once Casper gains mass institutional adoption. However, when it comes to a project like Casper that's focused on enterprises, you know, adoption for something like Casper, it's not going to happen overnight. You know, it's not going to happen in a week, in a month. It's going to take time. You know, the retail market, they can easily latch onto things, right? They can just say, oh, wow, you know, Dogecoin is popping off. Let's FOMO into that. You know, Pepe, let's FOMO into that. All this type of stuff. But when it comes to enterprises, They take their time. They have a team. It's not like they're just making decisions out on a whim. It takes time for them to actually adopt something like Casper. So when it comes to Casper, I do believe that it's truly a sleeping giant. Right now, it's sleeping, but really in the future, it could really surprise a lot of people, in my opinion, because Casper, they're not focused on chasing trends. Casper, they're not focused on joining on the hype. That's not the case whatsoever. Casper, they're focused on anticipating trends, which is why they're focused on enterprises right now. You got to think about this, right? A lot of projects out there, they're not focused on enterprises. And I think this is a big mistake because, again, just like I mentioned earlier on in the video, enterprises, they have the potential to facilitate growth at such an insane level. And Casper, they're positioning themselves for a lot of long-term success because they are anticipating the wave, so to speak. Much like in real life, right? If we're going surfing, let's say, and we're on the board, we're waiting for that wave, we're putting ourselves in a prime position to catch that wave, then we're going to have a good time, right? But let's say the wave is 50 feet away and we're trying to chase it. There's no way we can swim faster than the waves in the ocean. That's just impossible. So when you think about it, Casper, they're not looking to join in on the hype later on once enterprises start adopting blockchain technology on a large scale. They're not just going to join in later on. They are focusing on it right now. So once enterprises start adopting blockchain technology, once they look into projects that are focused on enterprise adoption, at that point, Casper is just going to go along with the ride. I think that Casper is really positioning themselves for a lot of long-term success. And here's the thing, Casper, they have flexible deployment options. That's what she said. And no, I'm not talking about flexible deployment options in the boom boom in the bedroom. I'm not talking about that because I'm talking about the Casper network having flexible deployment options. For instance, Casper can easily transition between a private, a public, and a hybrid network, which is absolutely fantastic. A private network, for instance, could be useful for businesses in cases where they don't want their information to be public, right? Not all businesses want that. However, on the contrary, a hybrid solution could be that, let's say a business, they want some information to be private, but they want some other information to be public, which could be great for a business that may want that. In addition, when it comes to a public network, this, for instance, can be especially useful for in the case of governments, where let's say they do want their information to be public. They want their information to be out there. They want a level of transparency. And again, this is where the Casper network, in my opinion, truly beats out a lot of the competition. Flexible deployment options, that's absolutely fantastic. It caters to businesses of any shape and size, caters to their needs, and as well as even for governments as well, which I find very fantastic. Furthermore, Casper, they have an amazing staking ratio. Casper currently has a higher staking ratio than Cardano, Polkadot, Avalanche, Phantom, the Near Protocol, and even Polygon as well. I mean, carajo, porra. That's a little bit of Portuguese right there. Casper's staking ratio, it's really one of the best. And now, it's taking nothing away from the other blockchains that I just mentioned before, but the fact that Casper has a higher staking ratio than them, I think that truly speaks volumes. And personally for me, I think that a major catalyst that could very well allow Casper to hypothetically attain the price of $10 during the next bull run is the fact that I do think that the next bull run could be so legendary. And why do I say that? Because as of right now, there's more people than ever before in history owning cryptos. When you take a look back in 2021, that bull run that year was absolutely crazy. Crazier than some artists out there. It was insane. However, at that time, there was over 100 million less crypto owners than today. So you gotta let that sink in, right? As of right now, in actuality, there's more people than ever before in history owning cryptos, which is crazy to think about. And when you have this many people owning cryptos, one could only imagine what the next bull run could look like. I mean, the FOMO, buying pressure, buying volume, and as well as the altcoin season during the next bull run, I think all of that could look so ridiculous. Hashtag Britney Spears. I'm just joking. This is not a video about Britney Spears. That's for another video. But yeah, besides that point, I think when altcoins start rallying during the next bull run, I think so will amazing cryptocurrencies, much like Casper. So when I take into consideration the A+ fundamentals of Casper, and when I consider just how insane the next bull run could be, I don't see why Casper during the next bull run won't hypothetically at least go to the price of $5. At least that's the way I take a look at it. And now, of course, when it comes to Casper, I'm not just randomly dumping all in, because a lot of people out there, they make a video on Casper, but then all they do is that they pull up a chart on Casper and they draw a random triangle and they say, oh, wow, you got a short here, you got a long here, you got to do this, do that. Oh, bull flag. It's like, what are they on about? Instead of focusing on what happens to the price of Casper in the next hour or 2 hours or whatever, why not just focus on the fundamentals and long-term potential of Casper? Because that's what I focus on. And that's why I've been dollar cost averaging into Casper for the past 2 years at this point. You know, that's how much I believe in Casper. Anytime I earn any sort of income, I set aside some for Casper. It doesn't matter if the price of Casper is above 4 cents, below 4 cents. You know, who cares about that? Some people are like, oh, wow, you know, I'm going to wait till the price of Casper goes to 3 cents. You know, I could care less about that. Anytime I earn any sort of income, boom, I set aside some for Casper. Because through dollar cost averaging, what I'm focused on is time inside the market as opposed to timing the market. Because again, right, a lot of people, they want to day trade, they want to use leverage. They're focused on timing the market. But I don't do that because a lot of friends that I know that do that, they get absolutely wrecked, they get cooked, they end up becoming guacamole on that Chipotle bowl, which is why I don't do that. I like to keep it simple. I just dollar cost average. You take a look at Warren Buffett, arguably the best investor of all time. What strategy does he use? He uses dollar cost averaging, and he's been dollar cost averaging for over 69 years. I mean, it's insane to think about, right? And I think this strategy is even going to work for the next 69 plus years and beyond. I really do believe that. It's a proven strategy. It works for someone like Warren Buffett. And even though this isn't financial advice, the way I take a look at it is that if it works for him, why can't it work for me? And that's why I'm dollar cost averaging consistently on a set schedule into Casper. I believe in its future. And I think that it's a sleeping giant. That's what she said. I wouldn't be surprised whatsoever if Casper during the next bull run did hypothetically at least go to the price of $5, and during the process, make all of those Casper critics come running over to their girlfriend's boyfriend's grandma and start begging for that used and rusted bratwurst extender Taylor Swift edition that they saw was on the sale rack from down at the thrift shop. Gonna be a little bit embarrassing if you ask me, but hey, I'm extremely bullish on Casper. And if you want to check out a very interesting video, make sure to go ahead and click on this thumbnail right here. It's a very fantastic video, and I think you all would really love it. It's been Lee the Captain, and I'll catch y'all on the next one. I'm out. Peace. Bye.